Why do we experience sleep paralysis? When we sleep, maybe at least once in your life, you have felt it. You wake up in the middle of the night. You know you are lying in your bed. You know the room around you is familiar. You want to move. You want to sit up. You want to call out to someone. But strangely, your body will not move at all. You try to lift your hand, but you cannot. You try to open your mouth, but no sound comes out. Your chest feels heavy, as if something is pressing down on it. The room is still there, but the air suddenly feels terrifying in a way you cannot explain. And then your heart begins to race. Panic rises. You feel as if someone is standing very close to you, even though no one is really there. People call this experience sleep paralysis. For a very long time, sleep paralysis has been connected to mysterious stories. Some people believed it was an invisible force. Some thought it was a spirit, something supernatural, some frightening presence in the darkness. Because when it happens, it feels so real that it is hard to believe it is all happening inside your own brain and body. But from the perspective of science, sleep paralysis is a real sleep phenomenon. It is not a ghost. It is not a sign that something strange or unnatural is happening to you. It is a state in which the brain wakes up first, but the body has not fully awakened yet. When we sleep, especially during deep dream sleep, the body creates a very special mechanism. It temporarily switches off most muscle movement. That may sound strange, but it is actually very important. Because when you dream that you are running, falling, fighting, or panicking, your real body does not immediately act out the dream in real life. In other words, the body becomes temporarily paralyzed to protect you while you sleep. But sometimes, the transition between sleeping and waking does not happen smoothly. The brain starts to wake up. Consciousness begins to return. You realize that you are lying in bed, but that muscle-locking mechanism has not fully turned off yet. And that is when sleep paralysis happens. You are awake, but you still cannot move. You are aware of your surroundings, but your body still feels trapped in sleep. What makes sleep paralysis even more frightening is that the brain is still very close to the dreaming state. That means the border between reality and dreams has not completely separated yet. Because of that, many people during sleep paralysis feel as if someone is standing in the room, a shadow figure near the bed, footsteps, whispers, or the feeling that something heavy is pressing down on their chest. These things are not happening because you are imagining something irrational. They happen because the brain is still caught in a half-awake, half-dreaming state, causing fearful images, feelings of pressure and helplessness to blend together into an experience that feels incredibly real. And because it feels so real, even after fully waking up, many people are still trembling, still shaken, sometimes even afraid to fall asleep again. Sleep paralysis is more likely to happen when you do not get enough sleep, when you stay up too late for a long time, when you are stressed or anxious, when you sleep on your back too often, or when your body is exhausted but your mind has not truly rested. It is almost like a sign that your sleep is being disturbed, that your body and your brain are no longer moving in sync as gently as they normally do. The most important thing to remember is this: sleep paralysis may feel terrifying, but it is usually not dangerous. It does not last forever. It will pass. And you are not crazy, not haunted, and not weak just because you have experienced it. If one day you find yourself in that state again, try to remember this. This is only a brief mismatch between sleep and waking. Focus on your breathing. Stay as calm as you can for a few seconds, or maybe a few dozen seconds, and remind yourself that your body will return to normal. Sometimes The most frightening part of sleep paralysis is not the phenomenon itself, but the feeling that, in that moment, you have completely lost control. But the truth is, even in what feels like the most terrifying moment, your body is still trying to protect you in its own way. It is just that this time, it woke up a little more slowly than your awareness did. And maybe understanding that is the first step toward making the fear feel smaller. Sleep paralysis is a very real and very frightening experience, but in most cases, it is not something supernatural. It is the moment when the brain has awakened while the body is still caught between sleep and wakefulness. And once we understand it, we can feel less panic, less fear, and a little more compassion for our own bodies during the long nights.